Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before. Imagine tuning in to real-time discussions, expert analyses, and fan interactions all at your fingertips. Each platform offers a unique experience, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. We're not just sharing stories, we're creating a community of passionate sports enthusiasts. Join us as we dive deep into the evolution of podcasting, where every episode is a chance to engage, debate, and celebrate the world of sports. This is where your voice matters and the game never stops. Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before, where sports passion meets podcasting brilliance. I'm Mike, the Bear fan, and alongside Bill, the Packer fan, and our buddy Ken Catalone, we're bringing you an incredible lineup of 38 diverse podcasters. Each one brings their unique flavor to the table, covering everything from game analysis to behind-the-scenes stories. Imagine diving deep into the minds of experts who live and breathe football, sharing insights that you won't find anywhere else.
Here locally in the community, make sure y'all go check out Meat Cat Bodies by Jeremy Jones.
Good afternoon and welcome to Lions Talk with Smoke and Jeremy B. Our injury report isn't as bad as it looked. I mean, we know that Ennis Rakestraw hit the injury report. The only guy that looks like he's going to miss time so far, according to Dan Campbell, is Khalif Raymond. And where that's going to hurt us is special teams. But Tim Patrick stepped up right into that clutch catch role that Khalif Raymond was doing for us, because his 4 catches were so crucial in those parts of the game when we had them. I want to show something, and it's just about the scoreboard here. Look, it's another game where a team did not score a point in the second half. I'm stressing this because the last team to score on us in the second half was the Packers in garbage time in the fourth quarter. They had to get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to make it a 24-14 point loss. So I don't get where these other teams are talking about it. Oh, we had fun. We had fun riling up them. 100%. I don't know where Sarah's stuff is. Why isn't it coming up? We haven't allowed a point in the second half since the Packers game. Think about that, everybody. That's 4 teams. It's 4 teams. The Texans, the Titans, the Jags, the I know, I don't know why we didn't use Baki. That one I'm still scratching my head on. Maybe they wanted somebody who was sure at catching the ball, didn't want to risk a fumble and setting them up in the red zone. No, she hasn't popped in yet, but she will. Because hey, let's talk about it. Chicago sports is having a year. You want to see how good the Chicago sports year is? Look at this. The Bears 4-7. The Chicago Blackhawks 7-12. The Chicago Bulls are 7-11. Chicago Sky went 13-27. Chicago Cubs 83-79. Ooh, it's a winning record. Chicago White Sox 41-121. The Chicago Fire soccer team 7 of 18, and the Chicago Red Stars are 10 and 14. The only team that got a winning record in the city of Chicago was the Cubs last year. How crazy is this? But let's do the tail of the tape right now before I get into my stars and my cold players of the game. Offensively, we had 390 yards to their 268. We had 253 passing yards to their 172. We had 137 rushing yards to their 96. The yards per play was almost exactly the same. The first downs, we had 26. They had 11. Third down efficiency, we were 9 of 15 and 0 for 1 on fourth down. They were 3 of 12 and 0 for 1 on fourth down. We had 72 offensive plays. They had 49. We allowed 3 sacks. Look at the disparity there. Punts, we punted 4 times. They punted 6. We had 5 penalties. They had 10. Time of possession, 37:01. And all 4 of those punts were within the 20. When you flip the field like that and you give a team a long field, it helps your defense. When you have the time of possession like that, it keeps your defense fresh. We had well over a dozen pressures and 6 QB hits. And the one I'm going to give Anthony Richardson credit for was the one when Z Smith had him locked up around the legs and he just walked out of it. He is built just like Cam Newton. But yeah, like I said to you last night, I'd rather have a guy back there to return kicks than just run away from the ball when it's in the air. Let our offense play where the ball lays. Yes, I got scared because it looked like St. Brown on the one punt return took a massive hit. I was like, oh shit, don't let him be hurt. Please, God, don't let him be hurt. Yeah, he's the same size as Cam Newton. He's 6'4" and 250. You're not talking about you're talking about a guy with the athleticism of Cam Newton and the size of Ben Roethlisberger. That's a deadly combination, and we held it in check because you know what? He had 10 carries for 61 yards, and he was their leading rusher. He didn't get a touchdown. Yes, he broke some plays. Yes, he made shit happen. But was it enough? No, it equaled 2 field goals. So let's go and see who their stars of the game. And Anthony Richardson was definitely one of them. 11 of 28, 172 yards, 10 carries for 61 yards. We held Jonathan Taylor, one of the best running backs in the NFL, to 35 yards and 3.2 yards per carry. Yoli Cruz. Congratulations to your Packers. You guys dominated a team that was decimated by injury, and you should have dominated. Congratulations. And I'm giving credit because we've all seen it where you let teams hang in when you're not having your best season. And I'm not saying the Packers are having a bad season. The first half, it looked like they were starting to run over you. Dwayne Keene, you're absolutely right. So, yes, your green and gold love is in here. The Vikings love is in here. They won a game because I thought for sure Chicago won the toss in overtime. I was like, oh shit, they might win a game in the division. But no, Caleb played hero ball, got sacked 15 yards behind the line and cost them a possession. Vikings drive right down, score the game-winning field goal with who? John Parker Romo. Congratulations, Vikings. That was a hard-fought win, a lot harder than it should have been. Statistically, I thought you guys should have blown them out. I don't know what happened. Oh, yes, I do. You guys did the same exact thing that the Packers did the week before. You started to go soft zone coverage and not blitz. Once you guys stopped blitzing, Caleb was eating in the zone. That was the difference between the fourth quarter and overtime. Overtime, you guys blitzed. You got the Caleb. He couldn't do anything. He tried to play hero ball. He went back to his rookie problem, facing a blitz and just trying to do too much. He should have threw the ball away. I think he does too, but that's another story. But let's get Michael Pittman had a game. Here's the crazy thing. Those 11 catches for 172 yards. I agree. I agree. I agree. I didn't like seeing St. Brown back there. So let's go to their defense. Who had their game? DeForest Buckner, Zaire Franklin, 13 total tackles, 8 solo, 5 assisted. Nick Cross had a game. He had 14, 6 solo, 8 assisted. EJ Speed had a game. DeForest Buckner had a game. Laiatu had a game. All guys I said we had to worry about if they played because DeForest Buckner was questionable, and it came out on Saturday he was playing. Those were guys I said we had to worry about. And one of the sacks we can you pick up Danny Dimes at the airport? No, thank you. Punt returns, Josh Downs, 2 catches, 4 yards. Our special teams was smothering them. They couldn't do anything. Lions players, Goff, let's see, what was he? 26, I think, of 26 at 36. He wasn't his best game. It wasn't his worst game. 269 yards, 0 touchdowns. Jameer Gibbs, what a dog. 21 carries, 90 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Jamison Williams, 5 catches, 64 yards. Very crucial yards for us in those situations. Jamison even had a run for 4 yards. Craig Reynolds got 6 yards. 8 carries by David Montgomery for 4.6 yards and a touchdown. Jameer Gibbs, 21 carries, 90, 4.3 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns. Those were the main stars of the game. But we had 3 catches by Laporta, 2 catches by Brock Wright, 3 catches by David Montgomery, including that screen pass where he was making them look silly trying to tackle him, which is where he caught a shoulder stinger. He came back out onto the field dressed and ready to play, and they decided to let Gibbs run out that game because they'd rather have Monty healthy to run through the Chicago defense, which they've steadily have been getting worse on run defense, which is going to happen. Our punt returners, 2 by Raymond for 30 yards, 15 average. One of them was the one he got hurt on. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 2 for 15 and 7.5. Jake Bates, another 50-plus yarder. Our net average on punts was 48 yards a punt. But this cannot be stated. I'm going to have to go back and show because 0 points in the second half, right? Let's go to last week. 0 points in the second half. Let's go to the week before that. 0 points in the second half. Let's go to the Titans game. 0 points in the second half. The only team that scored in the second half has been the Packers and Vikings and Seahawks. Everybody else hasn't scored in the second half versus us. Our closest losses, our closest wins have been the Rams and the Vikings. We've been beating teams since the Arizona game. And the Arizona game was kind of close, if I remember right. Yeah, Jags didn't score. Let's go see. Tennessee didn't score in the second half. These are huge stats that everybody's forgetting about. It's not just 10 straight quarters without a touchdown. We're talking about whole halves of football where teams don't even get to score a point, is what I'm trying to say. Do you realize how hard that is to do in today's NFL? I could care less how bad a team is. That is hard to do. And we've done it for 4 games this season. It's insane. But in the fourth quarter, I watched the Packers do it. Uh, Brent, that is understatement of the year. Vilder gave up one big catch, but he was in good coverage. I mean, Dorsey gave up one big catch to Michael Pittman, but he was in good coverage. He was right there with them step for step. His hand placement while looking back for the ball was bad. Otherwise, that'd have been a batted ball. If he'd have looked back a half second sooner and adjusted his body more, he could have stopped that catch. Other than that, Dorsey did good. Vildor was burnt toast. As a matter of fact, do you know that all but one of the receptions by Colts wide receivers was against Vildor? All but one. It was, and I'm talking about the contested ones, the ones where they were kind of in place. Vildor is awful. I hope we see him demoted or gone soon. Um, Mosley played in special teams. He made it through a game without an injury. Hallelujah. We got to see him for a full game. Even though it was special teams, he was on the field a lot. I think he had like 15 snaps. 15 snaps without an injury. It's a record. I just, people are sleeping on how good this Lions defense is in the second half of games. And remember, right now, because we won again, the Lions are 32nd in the waiver wire. Is it smart to even look at Danny Dimes? No. But I'd heard we did not put in a waiver claim, so I know we're off of it. I think they just added it there because they called the NFL offices about waiver claims. No, what do you think our chances are? You guys are 32nd. Probably not good. Would Danny Dimes be better than Jake from State Farm? We don't know because we've never seen Daniel Jones with a competent O line, a competent receiving room, incompetent coaching, except 1 year. That 1 year, he went to the playoffs. Was he the reason they went to the playoffs? No, it was 100% Saquon Barkley taking over games, just like he's doing for Philly right now. Did you notice the difference with Saquon Barkley last night? If he was the one that got him to the red zone, he didn't stop. Absolutely, Brent DeWitt. I'm 100% with you. And I heard the only reason we kept on Arnold out is we wanted him for versus the Bears. On Arnold is the only rookie cornerback we've ever had to not give up a touchdown through 10 games. He didn't play the 11th game, so we can't count that. Think about that particular thing. A rookie corner hasn't given up a touchdown through 10 games. I'll take a couple penalties if you're not giving up touchdowns. We give up yards. We clamp down in the red zone. Uh, it, It's insane what we've been doing in the red zone. We're like Cobra Kai. No mercy, no surrender on defense in the red zone. Decker returned to the game. He's fine. Monty was ready to return to the game. They held him out to be fine for Chicago. I've said this so many times in the chat. I don't know why I've already talked about it. Um, even CD3 is fine. He tweaked something in his leg. They said he's fine. He's going to be at practice tomorrow. He should be 7 now that Mosley's healthy. 7 means off the roster to the practice squad. The only guy that's going to miss time is Raymond. I want to see Vaki back there returning punts before I ever see St. Brown again. Hell, we've won games without Jamison Williams. Throw JMO back there. But at the same time, JMO has over 600 receiving yards this season. We're real close to it. Let me double check. 29 receptions, 602 yards, 20.8 yards per reception, 70 is as long, 4 receiving touchdowns. He's right on track for where I wanted him to be in this season. And that was for playing the entire season. That's not including the 2-game suspension he had to miss. So if you think about it, what did I say this preseason? I said a good stat line is anything better than 45 plus receptions, 750 yards, and 5 touchdowns. He's on track at this point to get 6 touchdowns. He's on track to get over 800 yards receiving, and he's trending towards having over 50 receptions. Right on track. JMO's proving he was worth the 12th pick overall. And he's been running through people at times. He's not just using his speed. There's times where he's had to do a stiff arm or a shoulder check to get the guys off of him when running some of these routes. He's been catching contested catch balls, stuff everybody said he couldn't do because of his size. That 15 pounds of extra weight he added in upper body muscle has been huge for JMO. There was a lot of people saying, "Oh, I want him to go for 1,200 yards. I want this. I want that." We have a lot of mouths to feed in the receiving game. I knew that was going to be a crapshoot. That's why I kind of put it at a median. I'm so damn proud of what this team is doing, or what our coaching staff has done. Give AG his flowers. We're getting it done with injuries, with smoke and mirrors. I remember this preseason on defense. Who can't you lose? Everybody said Hutchinson. We won 6 straight. Then somebody said Anzalone. Well, we just won one without him. And we played a whole half without him when we didn't allow a team to score. We haven't given up a touchdown in 10 quarters. We haven't given up a score in the second half for 4 games. That is called winning football. Tennessee Titans got their 14 points in the first half. Nothing in the second half. Packers got 8 points in garbage time when we went to a prevent defense. You know what? We haven't done a prevent defense since. Texans were leading, kicking our ass. Remember? Down 16 points, 23-7. Oh, Lions are cooked. This game's over. That's all I heard in the chat from everybody. I said, there's 30 minutes of football. We don't allow them to score a point and come back and win that game off the leg of Jake Bates. 16 of 16 on the season. The guy's perfect. He's the only perfect field goal kicker in the league. This team is family and built tough and has grit. Won't back down. Have each other's back when one or a few goes down. 100%. This is the epitome. I said coming into the season, this is the best depth of talent I've seen on the roster. I didn't say it was the most talented roster we've ever had. The most talented roster probably was the 91 Lions. Let's not get it twisted. But at the same time, 2014 Lions was pretty freaking talented too. But it was all top level talent. There was no depth. That's why when somebody got injured, we'd lose games. We're not doing that. And look at this. I got to put it up again because I said it when we played the Texans. That was a nice debut for their new uniforms. Be a shame if we ruined it. Every time I see somebody debut a new alternate uniform against us, oh, it'd be a shame if we ruin it. We've broken every bad streak but one this season, and I think it ends on Thursday. But I'm not going to get into that now. I will dive into the deep stats. Bears running defense is getting worse by the week. Oh, you had 3 as of last week. The week isn't over, but I haven't tabulated yet, Sarah. I'll do it. I just know you had 3 by last week, but it's gonna be if you've done half and half like everybody else, that's almost insurmountable unless somebody goes perfect and you have a really bad week. This staff has these players ready every game. Yeah, that's the one thing everybody forgets about. What did Dan Campbell say coming into the season? We will not look past one opponent every week. We are going to focus. We're going to come down. We're going to smack them in the mouth. It's like he said on Hard Knocks the last time. We're going to drag them into the deep water and see who can swim back. Because if you can swim back, you'll win. But we'll be the last team standing. And that's what they're doing. So after this show, I'll tabulate everything and have it ready for tomorrow's show, Sarah, and I will give the breakdown of who's where. JI's baby should be coming home either today or Wednesday. It's coming out of the ICU, breathing on its own. Congratulations, JI, on the birth of your son, Elijah, and that he's getting healthy. Hallelujah. Prayers do get answered. I have to write my game review. I have a lot that I do. Yeah, that's probably better than everybody because a lot of us were picking some upset. You kind of didn't, except I think you didn't you pick the Niners? I'm not looking on YouTube right now because I have to do the show. But man, uh, hearing anyone from any fan base try to say that Caleb Williams is better than any of the 3 quarterbacks in the North not named Caleb Williams, I've heard these Bears fans on other podcasts saying Caleb Williams is better than Darnold, Goff, and Love combined. And it makes my head hurt that they think this way. Oh, you did pick the Packers. Okay. Yeah, I see. Good job. I didn't. I went on the premature report that Bosa said he was going to play. Then they finally announced Purdy was out. Ugh. I don't know if they'd have won with Purdy the way that Packers team played. They were clicking. Let's see. I'm going to get who's got the lead in touchdowns right now. I think it's probably Saquon Barkley. Derrick Henry is in the lead. I don't think this added in last night. I loved it when MCDC said we'll be locked in for the Bears. He's looking forward to checking off another box and finally winning on Thanksgiving Day. I know. Sarah, did you see what your team did in the fourth quarter? The same thing the Packers did the week before. You guys stopped blitzing and went to a zone coverage. And Caleb eats in zone coverage. He is good enough to do that. He does not read and react well in man coverage. And that's the reason why they got back in the game both times. It took a block field goal to beat the Bears the week before by the Packers. Did you guys block a field goal yesterday too? They got lucky on a fluke play. I'm not going to say that. Oh, you blocked the field goal early though, not late. I see it now. It's not something we do a lot. If we do, great. If not, it is what it is. That's what I'm going to say, Sarah. Matter of fact, I think we blocked one versus the Jags in the second half. Or was that or was it the Texans? I can't remember. I know we got one this year. I can't remember which. Oh yeah, that was fluky. But the score like they did, 11 points in what, 22 seconds. They showed a little grit. I'll give them that. They showed a little grit, but they don't know how to win yet. And I don't think they will as long as Flukes. JI, go Lions, down with the Vikings. Jeremy for the win. You know what? Th- This team not allowing four different teams to score a point in the second half speaks volumes to what the job that AG is doing. Last year, we were the worst scoring defense in the third quarter. Not this year. Last year, we were the worst scoring offense in the third quarter. Not this year. You know what's funny? I'm on the keep blue strain. I know. If they keep him, God, God help them. That's all I got to say. And I'm not saying it. I think he'd be a great defensive coordinator. I think if he stepped down and they brought in an offensive coach and didn't have a full changeover, hear me out here. I think the Bears would get better immediately. Do you disagree with that, Sarah? This is the first week in 6 weeks. We did not have a turnover by either Kirby Joseph or Brian Branch in a game. It's been one or the other every game. We didn't get that this week. But we held Anthony Richardson to appalling stats. Everybody says, oh, he's back. He's going to be good. 11 of 28 for 172. You know what we did? We made his season completion percentage drop below 48. He's barely above Keely Smith again. Pat Rothwell in the chat. This is for all of you. I know you guys like it. Leonard's the only one that hates it. This is for everybody. Yeah, you can't keep Luce's head coach if they wanted. I think he'd be fine as the defensive coordinator. Myself, Sarah. I think that's where he belongs. And yes, it is bad juju. But at the same time, the way that defense is played under him, I think you could keep him at D coordinator. You just couldn't keep him as a head coach. That's just me. I, I'm looking at the continuity overall. If you change defensive coordinators and you end up changing the defensive scheme and you got a bunch of players that don't fit it, that defense starts to fall apart. Then the offense picks up. Yeah, little thumb, no, gnome Lenny. He hates that song. Absolutely hates it. Do you know what I call the Bears trying to win a game in the fourth quarter? A clown show. It's been comical. How many games have they had their new OC, and how many games have they won? Have they looked better on offense? Yeah. Have they won? No. It's 4. So I don't expect that to change anytime soon. They're coming into the hardest part of their schedule. I don't get it. Um, she's only got 3 wrong so far this week out of 12 games. She's kicking our ass. Let's not beat around the bush. Sarah is beating our ass. You know what she did? Boots to asses. Boots to asses. Jay, sorry, but I'm about to win that jersey. Is everybody ready for Thanksgiving? I know I am. We've only had 2 wins this season, less than a touchdown. Yes, you do. Yes, congratulations, Ji. I'm glad baby Elijah's getting better. I'm glad you get to go home with them soon. Smoking Dad! Great to see you, sir. Hey, Ken Dad. LOL. Every week, it's how the Bears lose this week. It is. It's Come on, Sarah. I mean, other than the fact it's the Bears, when they won the toss, for a brief second, you're like, fuck. Soon, we are hoping before Thanksgiving. Fingers crossed. Absolutely. That's what I predicted. Oh, I said that to begin the show. Congratulations to a baby Elijah being born, getting better, and hopefully you're home by Thanksgiving. By not scoring in the second half, Sarah. I'm sorry to hear that, Fred. Prayers up for your dad. Prayers up. Have a good time visiting your dad. I hope you watch the game there. I hope you guys are excited as I am. I think it's going to be an amazing game. Sneak them in some dinner, some real food. But man, the Packers put one on that injury decimated 49ers. I don't care how bad they were hurt. That was an impressive win because I'm not going to sit there and be like other fan bases and poo-poo a win. I'm going to call it like I see it. That was an impressive win. Jordan Love didn't throw a pick. Congratulations. He had a pickless game. Maybe he's improving. Maybe they're going to go on that run. But I hope it stops next Thursday. We are such a caring fan base. I love the fact that we can sit here and talk to each other through this chat and not dog each other, not do personal attacks, not cut each other down, lift each other up when there's something bad happening in our lives. Do you know how hard that is in a group that is normally a trash talker? I will have him added to the prayer list, Fred. Top three in the NFC North are 27-6 combined. That is sick. The only one that said I didn't do shit last week, the Bears. Thank you, Smoking Dad, for offering that to Fred. I'm sure he appreciates it as well. Top three in the NFC North are 27-6 combined. Who's that at 10-1? For the first time, back to back 10 plus win seasons in franchise history. Yes, we have a 90-year history in the NFL. This is our 90th year. Sarah, did I not call that? I said the Chiefs are looking past the Panthers. Don't be surprised if they make it close. They'll cover, but they might not win. I called that shit because the Panthers are playing better than they were at the beginning of the season than they ever did with Andy Dalton. The O line got healthy. The defense started playing better. What the mistake the Panthers did? They scored and left a minute and 13 on the clock. Do you know who else did that at the end of a playoff game one time? A little team called the Buffalo Bills. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, Brent. No cancer, so I hope you can see better soon. But how amazing is our fan bases here in the NFC North? Uh, both eyelids and both eyes were checked for the biopsy for cancer. T-Bone Lokes, welcome in. I love the fact that I can talk with Vikings fans, that I can talk with Bears fans, that I can talk with Packer fans in here and not be a douche nozzle because they're not being douche nozzles. That we're having legitimate football conversations. You know how nice that is? And this preseason, when we talked about the Vikings, what did I say? It all hinged on Sam Darnold's play. If he's the Sam Darnold of old, they had a chance to be in the basement. And I said a chance. I didn't say they would be. But I said if they're good, they might be second place in the division. I called that to begin the season. And what's happening? They're second in the division. They have a 2-1 record in the division. I think even the Packer guys can be good when it's something important. They are good guys. Yep. Yes, congrats, Brent DeWitt, on your great diagnosis. That's not good. That's great. I'm glad it's not cancer. Cancer is such an invasive, killing thing, and it's taken way too many out of this world. So let's do this by the I did my part version real quick because I want to do it now. I did my part. I did my part. I did my part. I ain't done shit. Yeah, he did play one of his best games ever. I saw that. No picks, 330 yards, two tutties, right? Great game out of Sam Darnold. But I'm saying prior to the season, except John Dorn. Oh, yeah. Brent DeWitt. Yeah, he's a douche nozzle. They keep bringing up last year's Thanksgiving. Oh, we beat the snot out of you guys. Beating a team by a touchdown is not beating the snot out of them. Scoring points so you only lose by double digits in garbage time. That's that's an ass whooping, isn't it? Let's be honest here. Is that not the epitome of an ass whooping? When a team has to score points in garbage time to get it within 10 points, is that not an ass whooping? Robert Bertana, Ken Catalone. I even don't have a problem with Ken the Bear fan. I just know he goes way more homer than anybody expects him. Prayers up for Romeo Dobbs. It looked like he took a concussion in the end zone last night on that pass defended. I hope he's okay. Yeah, he went 6 of 6, 90 yards to set up the game-winning field goal in overtime. I'm so proud of you. Should be. You know, when you're putting up that type of yardage, when you're putting up those type of stats, I could care less who it's against. But the Bears defense, they've been clouding as a top 10 defense. Now it's top 15 all of a sudden after 2 weeks of getting slobber knocked by an offense. And they're saying, oh, we're still a top 15 defense. Back to back games where people have been putting up 27 and 30 points. It's not a good look. They have yet to win a road game in the NFL. Remember what happened the last time they came to our house? It looked like Justin Fields was going to beat the snot out of us, and then we clamped down in the fourth quarter, turned it around, and won. They can't win in the fourth. They can't win late games. They don't know how to win. That's where I say they have a losing culture. They haven't figured out how to win in late games. Unless they're up big and you can't come back, they don't win. Not offensively, anyways. They're not there yet. They're getting better. But is it going to improve enough to keep loose? Not for me. I'd be firing the whole front office, all of them. Ryan Poles wants to save his job. He needs to fire Matt Eberflus on the next game. Otherwise, I think the McCaskies are going to get sick of Ryan Poles. Does anybody disagree with me? I just don't understand the logic. Yeah, it's not just a Sunday thing. They've lost Thursday night games. They've lost Monday night games on the road. It's been redonkulous. They've lost Sunday night games on the road. But yes, 90% of the games are played every week on Sunday. Let's say it again. I'm going to do it with the echo this time because it's more fun. I'm starting at the top. Fuck it. 10-1, 2-0 in the division. The mighty Lions. 9-2, 2-1 in the division. The Vikings. They skull fucked the Bears. F T P. Fuck the Packers. 8-3. 1-2 in the division. And fuck the Bears. 4-7. 0-2 in the division. And they wonder why they are last in the division. They can't win a division game. All right. I saw that we had an update. I want to get to that. Let's see it. Quick update. Just learned baby Elijah gets to come home tomorrow. Congratulations. That's wonderful news. Have you got your car seat? You got everything you need to make Mama Bear comfortable at home. Okay, I did get something here. Okay, here is the report about yesterday. Taylor Decker got hurt yesterday. Graham Glasgow had to take a snap at left tackle because Skipper had already reported as eligible on that play. So Skipper had to line up at tight end. And so unless they called another timeout, that which you can't call back-to-back timeouts. There's a rule against it in the NFL. Skipper just had to play at the extra spot. And they actually didn't do bad on that play. It didn't work out great, but they didn't do bad. So they had so because of the injury to Decker, all they were allowed to do is switch Decker. They couldn't switch Skipper from tackle eligible and then switch a player into that spot. Hey Brent, NyQuil fixes that. Give Mom a shot of NyQuil before you leave. My bet is he goes to the Jags. Mac Jones is not the answer. They're god awful with them. They're god awful with Trevor Lawrence. And Daniel Jones has had the same type of team success as Trevor Lawrence with the worst roster. Why not? It can't be any worse. I disagree. I think the Jags should pick him up on the waiver wire, not let anybody else have the chance to sign him. And he'd be a starter there right away. LOL, NyQuil. Good idea. Works like a dream. Cherry NyQuil. Half hour before they release you. She's out in the back of the car or in the passenger seat. 9 times out of 10, they want to sit next to the baby. If Danny was smart, he'd go to a team where he can rehab. It is so great. I am honored to sit here and talk football with you guys Monday through Friday, 9 times a week total with all the shows I do. There will be no Fire Up and no Motor City Mad Mouth this week, but there will be the NFL Roundtable Talks. Bears should get them. They love throwing money around. I don't think so. I think that would be a waste. They got secret agent man if Williams goes down. Last but not least, it is time to talk about the guy that pays me to do their spot. It is Brandon Service at the corner of South Grand Traverse and West Atherton Road, 602 West Atherton Road. In Flint, where the water's shit, but the tires are good. Stop in and check us out. Used tires starting at $45 and up. New tires, 810-233-8230. Talk to George, Red, or myself for your new tires. They will be delivered within 1 to 2 business days. Mention this ad if you're coming in, and we will give you a discount on your services, not just tire purchase. A lot of them do, JI, because I post them everywhere I'm on social media. I think I'm actually going to start posting them every week in the community chat as well for the subscribers, because then you can actually see my articles. Yes, you don't want to be like the Simon and Garfunkel song. Slip sliding away, slip sliding away. But you know what it's time for? All right, Lions fans, we won again. Forward down the field, a charging team that will not yield. And when the blue and silver wave, stand and cheer the brave. Rock, 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 go hard, win this game. With honor you will keep your fame. Down the field and gain a Lions victory. Go Lions! Victory Monday. It never feels bad, does it? And that's for any team. If your team won, raise your hand. 10 quarters without a touchdown, 4 games without a score in the second half against this defense. 4 games. We're not talking about a fluke here. 4 games. The Texans, the Jaguars, the Titans, and now the Colts. And if it wasn't for us going to a prevent defense, yes, it appears the Lions are number 1 in scoring offense and number 2 in scoring defense. Damn, I like that helmet. I love our alternate, but I really love this America's team one. I love it. And 30% of our starters are injured on defense. Yes, yes, I know. Will this be the game because of injuries that they bring Broderick Martin in? That's a question I have for people. And it's looking like Hutch might be back for the playoffs, people. Think about that. The bionic, the bionic defensive lineman. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. Tune in tomorrow as I go over the PFF hot players. On offense, I had it as Monty, Gibbs, JMO, and St. Brown. On defense, I had it as Z. Smith, Jack Campbell, and Kirby Joseph. I don't think so because we've had guys that just don't seem to get the job done. I think we're set for starters. I'm talking about depth, Harpazo. But have a great day, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to see about getting one made, Dad.